Trap Radio Show and Podcast. I'm here with John Dote. What's going on?
I'm having a great time, Billy. It's great to see you guys coming all the way from Atlanta.
Yeah, man.
Las Vegas recording studio. I gotta say, D-Lo's a bad talent, man. We created a nice beat, and that thing's gonna kick off.
Well, let's go. Let's just kind of talk about who you are, and then we can lead into that because that's going to be a big record. You know, we came down here and created a big record with you, John Dote and D-Lo. So don't look, observe. Just understand we from Atlanta. We in the West Coast, and I just want to make sure people got a chance to understand what really happened tonight. It was some magic that just happened tonight. And I know you get that kind of magic when you're working with like Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, people like that, right?
Yeah, it's quite a rush, I gotta say, man, because these people, Michael and Janet, they were like the most soft-spoken people that you ever could work with. And you know, when you talk to them and you said something to them, you would have to get close to them and go, "What did you say, Michael?" And you go, "Yeah, I'm working on a new record called Bad." But when you put them on stage, it's BAM!
Yeah, it's
Lights out, baby.
So
Then on front line, gonna get mine, need a big bad nigga. When it's crunch time, going big time, can't sit still, nigga. So go ahead and run it up, go ahead and run it up, yeah. Go ahead and run it up, yeah. Go ahead and run it up, yeah. Go ahead and run it up, go ahead and run it up, go ahead and run it up, yeah. Go ahead and run it up.
Let me tell you something.
Trap Wars Radio Show and Podcast. We are back with John Dote. John, one of the things I really wanted to focus in on, something you said, and how do you feel about going from the promotion side to becoming an engineer and having your studio like you have right here? You see this fly studio. I mean, these speakers in here like the club speakers, you know? So how does it feel to go into mix and mastering and being an engineer and working on projects like that?
Okay, well, when you go to a lot of studios, you're just going to run into producers and engineers who are most likely going to flop because big studios charge big prices for a big look, but the sound is only as big as the man behind the board. So,
Trap Wars Radio Show and Podcast. I'm here with John Dote. And one thing that was on my mind, I needed to really ask you this question is, how do you go from being like doing the promotion side, like, you know, as an executive in the promotion side, like, you know, being I guess a VP of promotions or whatever position you would
and getting
carry,
into engineering.
and then going into engineering, like, I mean, how did you end up doing that?
Well, my father worked with MCA Records. My uncle worked with Warner Brother Records. And I learned that you can be an engineer and a producer, but what are you going to do with it afterwards? And that's what I learned by my relatives being in the record industry, is where do you go after you produce the record? That's how I got involved with the both.
All right, so I just want to really discuss you as you know, doing some big projects and just tell us what's the steps that, you know, an artist in Atlanta or any Alabama or New York that want to come and do work with you, how are we going to work that?
Well, first of all, they should go through you. Your name is known as Billy Bad Axx of, what's the award show that you have?
The Trap Music Awards.
Trap Music Awards. And you should give them your number, your contact number, and then you review the product, because since you were here and you worked with me and saw the beats and how I produced, you can tell by listening to the artist and the beat how you can get them over here and how I can recreate the track and improve them, just like I did with D-Lo, who's from Atlanta and an excellent talent. So they should contact you first, and then you can forward it to me, and if I like it, then we can move forward and fly them in, whether they're in New York, San Francisco, LA, but they should go through your organization because after all, you've got the award show and you're looking to give awards to the new up and coming artists, and that's where I come in.
Well, you know, we definitely want to commend that working with the youth, but we also work with, you know, making sure that we award some of the top talent. But one of the things that you didn't get into, you have some gold records on the walls.
I do.
And beyond that part, you also the records, explaining them how the records really went platinum, but you know, you got the gold plat. So explain that to them.
Well, I was approached by Capitol Records, Penthouse, Warner Brothers, MCA, Universal, on promoting their big name acts. It could have been a Elton John, it could have been a Britney Spears, it could have been a Michael Jackson, and many of these records I may not have liked, but because of their name, I assumed the responsibility of saying, I'll take over the promotion, and I reassured the record label that I was going to be in charge, just like I did with D-Lo. D-Lo walked in here, he had one idea, but I threw my ideas out, and there was 4 of you versus me, and you guys all fell in love with it. That's what it took for me to convince a record label, the same thing. And so in the end, just like you guys were all dancing tonight, I had the presidents of MCA and Warner Brothers and Columbia. They were all dancing when I said, I'm going to make this a hit, and I did, and that's how I earned these awards.